What's up, everybody? Patrick back again. We're back here with our parable series, moving right along here. And today we're actually going to be unpacking two parables, mostly because they play off of each other, and I didn't want to separate it into two videos because they're the same thing. So we are in Matthew 13 still, and we're going to be starting with the parable of the hidden treasure, and then moving right on to the parable of the pearl merchant. So without further ado, let's get into that. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had and bought it. So that pretty much wraps up our parables for today, at least the readings of them. So let's kind of, like we do, break down some of the terms. And we again see the kingdom of heaven here. By now we shall know what that is. That's the realm of your heart that is ruled by spirit. And then we see there is a merchant and a field, and a merchant in a field finding a pearl, searching for a pearl, and then a hidden treasure that's in a field. And both these people, when they find it, they, I guess, realize the value of it. And once the value is realized of it, they are willing to sacrifice everything they have to pursue that. And I think that's like the main theme of the parable. If we jump over to Luke real fast, one sec here. If we jump over to Luke real fast in Luke 14, we do see, Jesus kind of echo what it's talking about. And he goes through some of the parables here as well in Luke, but when he's talking about the cost of discipleship, he talks about in 14:26, if anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, and yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. So these two things kind of bounce off of each other here. Basically, once someone finds the kingdom of heaven and once someone's experiencing those things and experiencing what it is to pursue that, what it is to pursue the transformation so you no longer suffer with what you suffer with, they realize the value of it. And the value in it is worth more than anything else you have in your life. Pursuing this kingdom, pursuing this treasure, this pearl, or anything like that, this prize, is more important than the biological relationships you have, more important than your family, more important than the pleasures you're seeking. And it kind of goes back to what we've been talking about this whole time, that this process takes time, and it, last week we talked about the parable of the yeast in the bread, and that it works together. That process takes time, and the two become one. Like you become like Jesus in a sense. Well, that journey is worth everything else, and that's the point Jesus is trying to make here. It's worth not everything else. It's worth sacrificing everything else you have. Is what I meant. In order to pursue this. And so what does that look like? It means, I guess it means somewhat laying down whatever it is you're finding pleasurable in your life, or at least, at the very least, asking the question, why is this beneficial? How is this beneficial to me? What am I doing? Is this limiting me from becoming who I really am? And if it is, it's time to set that down and find out why you're always pursuing that. Or it's time to set that down and make time to work on yourself and to build yourself up, to be a better version of yourself. I guess that pretty much wraps up. These are really short ones this time, and it kind of wraps up what we're talking about here. But that's pretty much the whole idea, is once you start finding the joy that comes from the kingdom, and once you start pursuing and going down that path, it costs a lot, and it's not necessarily an easy path, but it's worth it. And that's the overarching message. It's worth it to pursue this and become this, and it's worth you putting your time into it. So that's pretty much all I got today, guys. I appreciate you showing up again. I made it a little shorter this time. Mostly the text made it shorter for me this time. But as always, peace, love, and blessings to anybody who has ears to hear and eyes to see. Love you guys. See you later.